Hello there. I'm so glad that you could join me here in the beautiful sunshine on this wonderful beach in Jamaica. There's something very special about Jamaica. I've been there many times. Not only the Blue Mountain coffee that grows up in the mountains, some of the best coffee in the world and some of the most expensive, and also the happiness of the Jamaican people. In fact, I remember a song, one of my favorite songs. It's you probably know it. Don't worry, be happy. And they always use this phrase, Jamaica, okay, man. But I want to just share my heart with you today regarding an issue that almost everyone, if not every person living, has. It's a malady that seems common to the human race, and that is worry. One of my great spiritual heroes, a writer, speaker, teacher who has since gone home to be with the Lord, his name is Oswald Chambers. And Oswald wrote a book called My Utmost for His Highest. He was totally sold out to God. He held nothing back. He gave himself fully and surrendered to Him. And one of the things that was a principle of living, and my desire is not to share with you methods, but principles of life. So I want to give you a principle of life that I think is essential, and that is refusing to worry. You say, well, that's really hard to do, Dr. D. I know it is. I know it is. But it can be part of your life. Oswald Chambers made this his motto. I refuse to worry. And you can do the same. The interesting thing is that when God created the heavens and the earth, the first thing He created was light. He said, let there be light, and there was light. Light has an interesting characteristic. In fact, three things happened when God said, let there be light. The first thing is He created life, because life cannot exist without light. The second thing He created when He said, let there be light, is communication. Most of us don't realize that words are carried on light. Communication can be carried on a light beam. And that's exactly what happens when you put your CD in the player. There's a beam of light that reads the CD and transfers what's written on the CD into words. Amazing. The third thing He created was time. Most people don't realize it, but when God said, let there be light, He was creating time. We live in a time-space world. We live in a framework of time that God gave us. And time, we often refer to time as a prison. You know, man, we're in this prison of time. How can we make time stop? We don't have enough time to get everything done. Time. We try to bend time. We try to stretch it. We try to shorten it. But time goes on at a steady pace. In fact, the moon, the sun, all the things that are in the heavens, the stars, declare what time it is. So time can either be a prison or it can be a protection. It can be a prison or it can be a process that enables us to live within a framework that God has set and intended for us. There are three ways that we look at time. The first one is the past. The past is over and done with, but most of us live in the past. We can't live in the present because our mind is focused on the past. I have a number of clocks here, and one of the clocks I have is my good friend Goofy. Now Goofy, if you notice, Goofy is a happy-go-lucky guy. He's a great dog. He's my favorite Disney character, and I like to think I'm a little goofy myself. But Goofy, in fact, in our home, I have hidden Goofies all over the house. And when people come, I say, it's your challenge to see how many Goofies you can find. But I want to say that the interesting thing about this clock, I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but it goes backwards. Sometimes we prefer to live in the past. We can't forget the past. We're always searching, trying to resolve the issues of the past. And God gives us this amazing gift called memory. The problem is there are bad memories in our past, and we keep replaying the tape, the videotape in our mind over and over and again because we're trying to resolve the conflicts of the past. God has a remedy for that. It's called forgiveness and healing. And God doesn't want us to live in the past, but to learn from the past and not repeat those things that we have learned we shouldn't do. Now, we move to another dimension of time, which is really the only dimension we live in, and that is the present. Today is the day you worried about yesterday. And my question is, did it do you any good? No, it didn't. So, worry is really sin. Worry is sin. And God gives us a gift to live in the present. He says we are to live by faith. He says, don't worry. Consider the birds of the air. They don't worry, but God cares for every one of them. Consider the flowers of the field, how beautiful He clothes them. Have you ever seen a worried bird? I don't think I have. I've never even seen a sad bird. But I sure have seen some people who are worried and sad and living in the past. It's not what God intended. Matthew chapter 6, where Jesus talks about worrying, how we will be clothed, how we are going to be fed, how we will make it through each day. And God says, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, trust me. I am able to provide for all of your needs, whether it's clothing, whether it's finances, whether it's housing, whether it's health, whether it's a sound mind or good friends or a good wife or husband. God's got your back. So I just want to say to you, don't worry, have faith in God. Now we have this thing we call the future. The future is uncertain. The future is out of focus, which reminds me of this amazing clock. Someone gifted me with this clock. It's all transfigured, all transformed. You know, we don't really see the future clearly. We can see it through a mirror darkly. We know that God promises that when we see Him, we will be like Him. But what we see right now is not the fullness of who we will be. So, live one day at a time. Don't live in the past. Live in the now. And we have the future, and the gift God gives us for the future is a wonderful, wonderful gift. It's called imagination. Oh, you know, a lot of people think our imagination is bad, especially religious people. They think, oh, no, don't live in your imagination. Well, let me just say that's balderdash. That's a lie. We need to realize that God gave us this amazing gift of imagination. Well, why did He give it to us? God said this to me one day. He said, your imagination is the page I write on. how important it is to have clarity in the future. I want to say to you today, my friends, my family, be anxious for nothing. Anxiety is the fear of the unknown. We don't know what the future holds. We can't control the future, but God can, and He does. Be anxious for nothing. I want you to come back next time because I have another segment to this sharing out of my heart called One Day at a Time, 1 hour at a time. God bless you, friends. See you soon. Bye-bye.